I'm doing something a little different today. I'm actually going to go through my calendar with you because people always ask me how do I run my calendar and how do I get, myself to, I hate the word balance because balance is just not really true, but it's like, how do I run my calendar in a way that I can live a great life, still grow an insane company, and put myself in a position where I'm not stressed out all the time. So first I'm going to show you this. So look at, isn't this amazing? Let's just do a good morning together real quick. We built this house, we moved in end of the summer and we're still not done setting it up. Anyway, good morning. I mean, you gotta just love this. Isn't it just so awesome? I just love California weather. Okay, let's get back to work. Okay, so first and foremost, when you look at this is my calendar, and I'm hoping that it shows up here all right, because I wrote this down. I actually have a full training video on this coming up, but basically what I do is, I wonder if there's a better way of doing this. Let me know if you can see this. You guys comment below and let me know if you can see this. Can you see this very well? Because I'm actually just holding my phone. Hi, Ashley. I love that you love the pocket coaching. Okay, can you guys see this? Yes, yes, yes. Can you see this? Tell me if you can see this and you can read it. Just tell me that. Just throw a note below. I'm hoping you can see this. Okay, so here's how I run my calendar. First and foremost, what I do is I actually block out. I'm just gonna move this light a little bit. I have a light here so that it's not so dark. There's my light. So if you guys wanna know where my light is, that's my light. Actually, I could just put I'm gonna do this, hold on. Fun! I'm gonna put this here. Oh, hopefully you didn't just disappear. There you are. Okay, so this is my light so that we can see each other nice and smooth and you're in my kitchen with me. Okay, let me see. Okay, yes, awesome. And then here's my fermented shake and I'm getting ready for a great day today. Okay, so people ask me about my calendar all the time, and what they ask me is, how do you run it in a way that you don't burn yourself out? So burnout's very real. Many of you guys know this, but what's even worse than burnout is you becoming a biatch. You getting really grumpy at people you love because you're pushing, you're striving, you have a strong drive. If you're anything like me, you have a strong drive. And so you've got to figure out how to temper it, and you don't want to feel bad about every time you snap at someone. So how do you alleviate that? So the first thing I do is I actually figure out my flex time first. So what in your rhythm, write this down, what in your rhythm, that if you focused on it right now, what in your rhythm, like your natural rhythm, like I'm a morning person, I'm not a night person. I'm in bed by 8 o'clock, I'm asleep by 8:30. I have some friends staying over right now, and so I got back up at 11 o'clock at night and felt like I'd already slept like a good night's sleep and sat and talked to them for an hour, then went back to bed. So what is it? Oh, somebody wants me to turn my I don't know if I can turn this to the side now. Hold on, let me see. Let me see. Is that better? Hold on. Nope. It won't let me do it well. It won't let you do it while recording. So sorry, you guys. So you're gonna have to get me vertical right now. So the first thing I do is I go, what is the calendar that works for me that allows me to not be snappy with people? And so for me, I need about a week off, like a week off a month. And that doesn't mean that I don't work hard. You could talk to any of my friends. I work so hard. I'm not here, like I think entrepreneurship has become trendy, and there's a lot of people who are entrepreneurs who really are not entrepreneurs. You just are gonna replace your job, you're gonna make $60,000, $80,000, $100,000 a year, and you're gonna replace your job, which is great, that's fantastic. But there's a whole slew of other people who are entrepreneurs who, every time they hit a certain level, they have a vision to go higher. Every time they hit a certain level, they have a vision to go higher. And that drive is, I think, a blessing. I mean, I don't think you should ever try and shut that down, but a normal go-to is to shut it down when it's becoming unhealthy in your life. So how do you work it so it doesn't become unhealthy? It's your calendar. I mean, people say you don't manage time. I agree with that. You manage your energy. And when you don't have an energy problem, you don't have an overwhelm problem. No matter how freaking, like I have shoot, I have 3 events in the next 3 weeks. I have 3 events in the next 3 weeks. I have got, not only do I have 3 events, yeah, think about that for a second. I mean, think about if you do events or masterminds or something like that, like how you feel leading up to it. I have 3 in the next 3 weeks. And honestly, I keep having to remember they're coming up because I don't have any stress around them. It's not because I'm like super great at what I do. It's not because of any of that. It has to do with the fact that I manage my energy. And the way that I do it is the last week of every month I take off. So if you can see my content calendar, and I know it's not perfect, and don't worry, I've got a whole training video that's coming out on this that will populate, that's beautifully done online. But basically, I take the last week of every single month, and the last week of every single month is the 4th week of the month, and it's called my flex week. Everybody knows that week is that week, and that's it. So I'm not going to talk a lot into that because I've talked about it so many times. You can go to find me on YouTube. You can type in Shanda Sumpter on YouTube or Hardcore Business on YouTube, and you'll find me on YouTube. Not only do I have amazing rapid trainings that are nowhere else on YouTube, but I also talk deeply about flex time. So you can find flex time if you Google it or if you YouTube my name and flex time. So I take the last week of every month off, and I also take the weekends off. I work about 3 to 4 Saturdays a year. Those are usually my 2-day events that I have going on, and those 2-day events I usually do Fridays and Saturdays. So that's it. Okay, I take the month of December off. That's it. If you calculate all that up with maybe another 2-week vacation somewhere in the year, it really adds up to 5 months a year. So if you think about that, first of all, you might make yourself happy if you always take off weekends and you actually add up all the weekends in a year and realize how much time you actually take off. The question now becomes, what are you doing with that time? Are you actually doing things that light you up with that time? Or are you doing things that like sitting on the couch and watching Netflix, which I know is fun sometimes, but let's be honest, it gets freaking boring. So what are you doing with your time off so that you're optimizing your time off and you're having fun? Like so here's a way to figure that out. Write down like the 3 favorite times you've had in your life and what you were doing. Like what are 3 memories that you have? And what were you doing? Like what made them so great? So when you do that, this is something you cannot not do because having lots of flex time with not really knowing how to optimize it is boring. So you don't want to do that, right? So you want to look at like, what do I love to do? So I love to read. Some of you guys might know that my friend Deidre and I are doing, we're literally reading a book a month. And we're actually, one of our clients, Amy Yamada, is doing this with us as well. We're reading a book a month this year. And, you know, I'm doing that because first of all, I want to educate my mind, but I also love to read. And so I've built it into my ecosystem. So, you know, I love to read. I love to be with friends. I love to be with friends with my husband. We have a lot of fun together, but we have a lot of fun when we have our friends with us. So we really enjoy having our friends with us. And so you got to find out what are the things that you really like so that you don't end up, you know, not looking forward to your flex time. So Ariella, you're saying, I end up working on my flex week. You got to stop it. That's an integrity thing, right? You got to keep your word to what you say you're going to do. My last flex week was the first time I've worked on my flex week for, gosh, I don't know how many years. A really long time. A really, really long time. And I was being pulled to do it. Like I was excited to do it. I didn't have to do it. I was excited to do it. And so that's a drive like picking me up. But you got to watch that drive. If that happened to me all the time or every second month, then I wouldn't have the space. So as an entrepreneur, you need the space. So write down your 3 most favorite moments that you can remember and what made them your favorite moments. That gives you an idea of how you can optimize your flex time so that you're looking forward to it and you don't waste it with idle time. Look, you're gonna die, I'm gonna die. We might as well use as much of our life as we can. We might as well like live on the ocean if you wanna live on the freaking ocean, which used to be an idea of mine that I never really knew if I could afford, and I would positive think myself into, I know I'm going to have a house in San Diego on the ocean. And it's like, yeah, but there was a part of me that didn't know. but I just kept that vision in front of me, right? So you keep that vision in front of you and you make it happen. But you got to know what you're doing on your flex time so it pulls you forward, so you actually want to show up to your flex time versus not knowing what to do. So Ariella and anybody else who works on your days off, I guarantee you don't have another plan. You don't have another plan. There's no other plan that's pulling you forward. There's not like time with friends that's set up. There's things, there's things that are not set up. So we plan our businesses, we plan our work days, but why are we not planning our flex time, our time off? Okay, so that's that. Next thing I do, again, I know you can't totally see this calendar great, but you can see this is Sunday through Saturday. The next thing I do is I write down church is on Sundays, so I go to church. I love church, and I love myself some scripture. I have 7 a.m. coffees with Shanda, Monday through Friday, but I don't have them on my flex week. So I have them the 3 weeks out of the month. I have calls with my COO, but here's what's most important. My flex time goes first, which is me. Put you first. Stop putting yourself second. Then what happens is I have block time. You might not be able to see this, but Friday is typically block times. I have a 2-day event popped in here because that happens often, right? I have a 2-day event popped in here, but normally Fridays are block days. So block days means I have no appointments. I have a very good friend of mine that I also do business with that wants to talk today. It's currently Friday while we're doing this live. And I was like, is this a priority 1? This is a great language to start with the people around you. Priority 1 means it needs to get done in like literally now, like yesterday. It's like urgent is a priority 1. A priority 2 is within the next, 7 to 10 to 14 days. It's like in that ballpark. Priority 3 is I'm thinking about it. I know I want to do it, but it's not on the calendar yet. That's my entrepreneurial church. My entrepreneurial church that I really want to get started. I really feel as a call from God. It's like it's not showing up on this quarter. And I keep thinking, it keeps getting brought up in meetings, like, can we talk about the entrepreneurial church? It's a priority 3 right now until priority 1 is complete, which is these 3 events that we have going on. We got Marketing Masteries event, we have a 2-day event coming up, we have a sales boot camp coming up. It's just, I want to make sure that I give all my effort to that so that I'm not thinking about the entrepreneurial church until that is complete. Right? So entrepreneurial church is a priority 3. This will serve you if you start teaching people what this is. And the reason why this will serve you is that, first of all, how many things end up on your plate that somebody else throws on your plate that you think is a priority 1? So I tend to be the type of person with my team where it's like, hey, can you do this? Or hey, I was thinking about doing this. And then they feel like they got to drop everything and focus on what I put in front of them. That's inefficient. It's inefficient for you, it's inefficient for them, but I also do that with my own inbound, like people who I love that are coming forward. It's like I don't have time for idle chit chat during the day. I am busy because I work three weeks out of the month. I am freaking insane busy during that time. I'm insane busy. Honestly, I cannot believe all the things I can get done in a day, but it's things like this that actually hack the system for me. So make sure that you're not being reactive to the people coming in your life, even like if you're a contractor or a vendor or an agency or even a coach. My clients would love me to be there for them like that. And sometimes I can, but often I can't. And that's just part of the agreement. Right? It's like sometimes it might take me 24 hours to get back to someone. If it's a Friday and they send me a message at 4 o'clock in the afternoon or 3, I'm already on my way to go pick up my son. My son's in the car. I'm a human being just like you. Like the game is not trying to like optimize yourself into the grave early because you're so exhausted. The thing is to be okay to allow things to bleed. So we have a rule inside of Heartcore, which is you got to let it bleed. So sometimes renewing clients can bleed. I remember losing $500,000 because I didn't have a process in place and I lost $500,000 in renewals. It's amazing that people don't think I'm going to stay in the game and I'm going to get the result. They need coaching to stay in the game, right? So it's like, there's things like, you need to be writing newsletters or blogs, or you need to be doing more lives. And it might not be a priority 1 yet. It might be a priority 2, which means schedule it. If it's a priority 2, schedule it. So my content days are priority 2s until they become a priority 1, because it's a day I'm doing a content day. So back to the calendar. Start with my flex days. I schedule that in. So I want you to go schedule, what does a good flex schedule system process for you look like? And put that in. Do you want Fridays off? Do you like Mondays off? Do you hate Mondays and you don't want to work? All you have to do is start telling the people around you what your system is. Once you do, they will adapt. I promise. I promise. Even when I was in corporate America, they will adapt. When I was a real estate agent, I never worked weekends. And all real estate agents work weekends. I never worked weekends. So once you tell people what your process is, they will abide by it. In fact, it makes it easier for them to work with you, because now they actually know what to expect of you, when you're available, when you're not. Okay, so then I go to my block days, which are Fridays. Fridays are my work days. I don't like any meetings on my Fridays. I resent meetings on my Fridays. I don't want anything on my Fridays, because I want to work. I want to today I want to work on some blogs and things like that. And I want to send them over to Lawton, who is our copywriter. And I want to work, you know what I mean? Whether he's available or not, I want to do my part so that I can work, right? I've got 2-day event coming up that I want to actually, stimulate some emails and some mini trainings to go out to make sure that those people are actually coming to the 2-day event, because it's sad. I'm teaching a $3,000 course for free, like, show your ass up. You know what I mean? But I know that they need me to show up. Like, they need me to be on my A game right now for them to be able to, know that it's valuable for them to get in the room. They need encouragement. So I want to spend time doing that today. I don't want meetings. I don't know if you're anything like me, but I can have a meeting at 1:00 in the afternoon and it screws up my whole day. Like, I literally feel like the whole day is messed up because I have a meeting. So I keep all those on Mondays and Tuesdays with my training calls. Then what I do is I go put in my content days. So content days, usually I have 1 a month. Sometimes I have 2 a month. They're basically from 6 a.m. to about 4 o'clock, sometimes 5 o'clock in the evening. So, and we're working. Like, it's not like I'm like, it's like 6 o'clock in the morning. People are flying in the door, usually a little bit before 6. I've got camera equipment being put everywhere, video equipment, lights everywhere. Sometimes we're in my house. Sometimes we're like out in San Diego. Sometimes we find like really cool streets that I can do like lots of different backdrops on. And we're there for half a day, and then maybe the sun comes way up and we switch to another location. But literally, I am in the chair getting hair and makeup done at 6 a.m. and we go through to about 4 or 5. We stop for about a 45-minute lunch that gets brought into us wherever we're at, and then we go. So you could imagine the level of prep that needs to happen before a content day. So content day is a priority 2 until it's on my calendar. And then what happens is I'm meeting with my team moving up to that, going, what is the content that we're actually doing? So I can mentally prepare what are the points I want to hit on the video trainings. That's where our YouTube rapid trainings, literally go to YouTube, follow me on YouTube, go subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can go to YouTube, you can type in Hardcore Business, you can type in Shanda Sumpter, you'll find me. Go subscribe to that channel, because literally every month I'm doing, I think they're fantastic trainings, super useful to help you be able to grow a business, and they're completely free, obviously, because they're on YouTube. So we do rapid trainings on that. So go follow us there. But that happens in my content day. If you look at my Instagram page, go look at me over at Instagram. It's just Shanda Sumpter. On Instagram, you will see I do all those posts. I literally write all those posts. They're not written for me. And the pictures are done on my content day. So we go with the flow of the season. So as we go into summer, we'll get more summer shots, but the summer shots will be done like as we're going into summer, meaning that they'll be done right before we go into summer. So you can see the change in the season, which brings a feeling to my Instagram page. Like, it feels like, oh, we're going into summer. Oh, we're going into winter in our leather pants. You know what I mean? Like it literally transitions with the ebbs and flows of the rhythms. The last thing that I do is I actually put in my training calls. So I put in my content days, I put in my training calls. My training calls are always on Monday and Tuesday. The reason why they're on Monday and Tuesday is because those are my really heavy work days. It's like, forget about me doing any work. Like, you know what I mean? Like, those are days that I'm just like moving like a machine. And so, and it's usually appointment after appointment after appointment after appointment after appointment. My food gets like brought in front of me. I stop for like 20 minutes. You know, I get up out of my chair. I eat the same thing every single day. It's a spinach arugula salad with sweet potatoes and an egg. It's like all organic. I eat that every single day for lunch. I take wheat shots every morning. I take 16 ounces, I think it's 16 ounces, or maybe it's 32, whatever, it's that big, of greens juice that's freshly pressed for me every morning. Somebody brings that to me every single morning. And I'm just on a system. And I think you need to be on a system to be able to run at the level that you're running at, whatever that looks like for you. You need to be on a system that helps you, and nutrition is a big piece of that. The last thing I would say is that my Thursdays and my Wednesdays are basically most of the time my VIP days. Sometimes Mondays if they can fit it in, but I have about 3, now starting to push some months 4 VIP days a month where people are flying in to do days with me. And they're 4 or 5 hour days. They're intense. They're so fun. I mean, the stuff that we can create being in one room together for a certain amount of time. I know Ariella, you've done one with me. You know, Jessica Beebe, I don't know if she's on here. I just saw Ariella. You know, so when I can do that with someone, it's awesome. It lights me up so it doesn't deplete me. And that's something I just want to touch on really quick. Watch the things that light you up as an entrepreneur and fill you up, because your schedules are moving. Like, it's not like somebody's paying your paycheck, right? So your schedules are moving. And when your schedule is moving, it means that there's just a lot more coming out of you than I think you recognize. And especially, you know, Anahita, I see you're about to have a baby. You know, when you add all those different dimensions, it's not that it's hard, it's just different. You got to change the systems around you. Like Anahita, when I had Zach, you know, I breastfed every hour and a half. So I worked out my calendar. It always starts with my calendar. I don't go reactional ever. Like one of our clients, like, I think I can make it to the mastermind because I have a new baby and all. And it's like, you know, Carla's coaching HCL right now and breastfeeding at the same time. You figure it out. Right? Like you actually, it's very cool when you figure it out, because you create a new system that actually gives you more freedom, that when that thing is no longer in your space. When I say thing, I connected that with kids. I don't mean kids because they're more than things. They're amazing. But it's like when my son stopped breastfeeding, I had a new optimized schedule because I knew it was possible because of him being a blessing in my life. Right? So it's like, one of our clients is doing a 2-day event and their ads got taken down, their Facebook ads. And so they're like, oh, like we were depending on that. And I'm like, well, first of all, I said, let me check and see in our database if we could, like, what our Florida base looks like so we can support you. I mean, this is what Heartcore looks like as a team. We're a team. I mean, obviously I don't need to send out text messages or emails for my clients, but like the breakdown provides an opportunity for us to, you know, show up a new process. Hi, Zach. Come here, bud. And so don't back down to, what I'm trying to say is don't back down to, oh, these are his new shoes. He's very excited about them. They're actually swimming shoes, but he's going to wear them to school. So, do you want to say hi?
They're a beach for them. They were go and the beach.
You want to go to the beach? Oh, the shoes are for the beach.
Shoes for beach and for school, okay?
And for school, yes. School.
It's go 11.
Do the
No!
Oh, go school.
No!
Hey, I'm trying to help.
No. School.
There we go. So he's working on his S's. So I'm just telling them about my schedule with you. Oh, don't lick me. I'm just telling them about my schedule with you. So I'm getting licked. Okay, so obviously Zach's made his appearance this morning and he's licking me. So anyway, so I hope that helped. It's like, look at whatever breakdowns happen and find a way to break them through. Easier said than done until you change your attitude to realize you're going to get a strategy that you never actually knew was possible without that breakdown, right? So it really is, they're saying hi to you. They're saying hi, Zach. So the final summary of this is start with your flex time on your calendar. Do not allow your life to be reactional. Keep your boundaries. Everybody knows in my life when I work, when I don't work, what I'm willing to give, what I'm not willing to give, when I'm focused on certain things. You are crazy. When I'm focused on certain things that I'm really focused on them, and I do my best not to break my word anywhere when it comes to things like that, because then people don't know what to rely on you for when your calendar doesn't stay consistent. So keep your calendar consistent. Say bye.
Bye.
Say I'm going to school now.
I'm going to go now.
School now.
I'm going to school now.
Woohoo! Give me 5, bud. That was good. All right, you guys, thanks for being live with us. We will have a great weekend. We will see you on Monday at 7 a.m. Coffee with Shanda. And I promise you we'll have a really awesome week next week. So here's to rocking it out. If you're brand new to 7 a.m. Coffee with Shanda, I just want to say it's a great way, I think, to start your day, to get out of any sort of reactional and figure out how to optimize your business and your life. All right, talk to you soon. Bye. Are you saying bye?